Hello, and welcome to The Forgotten Feminine, where we discuss female themes and figures in art, mythology, and history. In honor of Valentine's Week, we are talking about love. Specifically, we will be discussing how the Greeks define love in its many forms and what that can mean for us in our relationships. In English, we throw love around pretty casually. I love pizza, I love my job, I love my mom, I love you. But are all of those the same? The Greeks say no. So let's go through and talk about what those words are and how they play out in our lives. This video is from a feminine perspective, but any gender could benefit from understanding all these types of love. Eros is sexual or passionate love. This is the most closely associated with our modern-day construct of romantic love. Named after the Greek god of love, Eros is the physical manifestation of feelings towards another. Storge is familial love, the kind of natural instinct love shared between a parent and a child and close family. Friends can occasionally experience this type of love as well. The Greeks used philautia to describe self-love. This can be used in positive or negative ways, which we'll get into in just a little bit. Ludus describes flirtatious, fun love. Usually from young love, it is very much the honeymoon stage of a relationship. Mania describes obsessive love. This type of love can be a little bit creepy, a little bit dangerous, and it has inspired countless stories and horror films as well. Philia is love found from kinship, or love between friends. Free from sexual entanglements, it is often referred to as a platonic relationship. Pragma is mature love. This type transcends a physical attraction and encourages concern and respect for each other. This is the love a married couple hopes to reach as they age. The highest form of love and spiritual in nature, agape describes unconditional and selfless love. This is the type of love you might feel for nature or for God. The healthiest relationships will probably have overlappings of all of these types. Maybe keep your mania to a minimum, though. For now, let's go more in depth on 4 of these types. Let's talk about Eros first. As you can see, the Greek god of love was a protector and encourager of love in all its forms, hetero and same-sex alike. The Greeks were much more open-minded to same-sex attraction than their Roman counterparts, and there are a number of stories of people and animals and all sorts falling in love throughout Greek mythology. Cupid may have been blind, but he kept himself pretty busy. One of the most romantic tales in mythology is the story of Eros and Psyche. Beauty, trust, and forgiveness are all themes throughout. There's some truly great love in there as well. If you want to go into that, I highly recommend checking the story for yourself after this video. It's worth mentioning that Eros is found nowhere in the Bible. The New Testament never directly addresses the topic of passionate, romantic love. Oddly enough, though, the Old Testament does talk of romantic love. Eros is very well illustrated all throughout the Song of Solomon. The Bible does not shy away from the reality of romantic love, or even the physical sensations of it. In fact, they seem to elevate it when healthy boundaries are in place. This leads us to contemplate why women from strict religious backgrounds can tend to hide their sexuality and natural urge for physical pleasure from their partners. One type of love that is certainly embraced by religious women is storge. Familial love is often placed at the epicenter for many women, where motherhood becomes the highest goal and the ultimate post in society. And none of this is said to downplay its importance. I have 4 children myself, and the relationships I share with them are among my most treasured gifts. As we talk about women and symbolism in stories and art, we can't not discuss motherhood and how incredibly complex it is. Someone once said, even people who hate their mothers love their mothers. Motherhood is the theme echoed in thousands of stories, their roles as creators, birthers, nurturers. This leads us to ask, can we take the gifts of motherhood and see them play out in other areas of our lives? The most important thing about storge, in the end, though, is shared memories. This is a binding kind of love that is not easily undone. Families are incredibly individual, but the bond is surprisingly universal. As I mentioned earlier, philautia can be used 2 ways. Negatively, it describes selfishness, the type of love that takes and does not give back. It can be used to describe someone who seeks fame, wealth, and pleasure beyond what they need. It can also have a very positive connotation, self-care. Ancient Greeks firmly held to this idea that in order to care for others, we must first take care of ourselves. They believed that self-care was the way to create more honest citizens who would also care for others. When practiced in a respectful and balanced way, Familial can provide the foundation upon which all other love could be built on. Surprisingly, this type of love does not come as naturally as we might hope. Drop your self-care ideas in the comments below, because some people might need a few ideas. In a poll on the Forgotten Feminine Instagram account, 100% of women agreed that they had a hard time loving themselves. That is outrageous. Do we not know how powerful we are? Go ahead, like this video and subscribe so I can keep telling you how awesome you are. These stories are meant to inspire you and show you how much power lies in being female. The highest form of self-love, and spiritual in nature, agape describes unconditional and selfless love. This is the all-encompassing love we feel when we meditate or think positively on things of a spiritual nature. This is love without expectations. This is the love of forgiveness, principles, and effort. It is the application of love. It is also the reciprocal love of God and mankind. Agape is not an action, it is a motivation. It's the driving force behind putting someone else's needs before your own. Agape is why you brought dinner to a friend who is struggling. It's why you gave your change to the man on the sidewalk. It's why you pick up litter and donate to a stranger's GoFundMe campaign. The goal is to have agape be behind all of your choices and actions. That is how we will really share love and inspire change, one kind gesture at a time. I hope you've enjoyed this video and that you go out and put a little more love into your relationships with others and with yourself. Too much love is like saying there's too much sky. I know I could use some more, so please subscribe, share, and like. I love you, but not like I love pizza. Thanks for watching.